Imagine waking up feeling puffy, sluggish, and bloated, not because you overate, but because your body is holding on to water like a sponge. You might blame it on weight gain, but the real culprit could be hiding in plain sight: the salt in your pantry and the lack of a quiet but powerful mineral that most people barely think about. This mineral does not flash headlines like protein or fiber, yet it quietly shapes how your body handles sugar, burns calories, and even defines your silhouette. It is potassium, and emerging insights from nutrition science are revealing just how central it is to metabolic health, weight management, and overall vitality. For decades, dietary advice fixated on cutting calories or avoiding fat, while sodium, the salt we sprinkle on fries or find lurking in packaged snacks, flew under the radar as a silent disruptor. But sodium does not act alone. It works in delicate balance with potassium, its natural counterpart. When that balance tips too far towards sodium, the body reacts by retaining water, causing that familiar puffiness around the eyes, fingers, or waistline. This is not fat, it is fluid, trapped because potassium is too scarce to signal the kidneys to flush out the excess. The result? A heavier, less defined appearance that has nothing to do with actual body fat. But potassium's role goes far beyond acting as a natural diuretic. At a deeper level, it influences how the body responds to insulin, the hormone that shuttles sugar from the bloodstream into cells for energy. When potassium levels dip, cells become less receptive to insulin's signal. Sugar lingers in the blood longer, prompting the pancreas to pump out more insulin. Over time, this cycle encourages the body to store more energy as fat, especially around the midsection. Restoring potassium through whole foods helps recalibrate this system, making cells more responsive and reducing the tendency to pack on fat even when calorie intake stays the same. Even more compelling is potassium's role in preserving muscle during weight loss. Many people who cut calories find their energy waning and their metabolism slowing, not just because they are eating less, but because they are losing muscle along with fat. Muscle is metabolically active tissue. It burns calories even at rest. Potassium supports the electrical and biochemical processes that keep muscles functioning and intact. Without enough of it, the body may break down muscle for fuel, dragging down the metabolic rate and making long-term weight management far harder. This is why two people on the same diet can have wildly different results. One retains lean mass and keeps burning efficiently, while the other slows down and plateaus. The good news is that potassium is abundant in everyday foods, often in the very items that are already part of a balanced diet. The challenge lies not in finding it, but in choosing it over the ultra-processed alternatives that dominate modern shelves. Take something as humble as a potato. Baked with its skin on, it becomes a potassium powerhouse, far removed from its fried, salted cousin. Or consider beans, often overlooked, yet packed not only with potassium but also fiber and plant-based protein, creating a trifecta that stabilizes blood sugar and keeps hunger at bay. Even grains like oats and buckwheat, when prepared simply, offer steady energy without spiking insulin, thanks in part to their potassium content. In the protein aisle, lean cuts of poultry and pork deliver more than just muscle-building amino acids. They also contribute meaningful amounts of potassium. And then there is salmon, a standout not only for its omega-3 fats that calm inflammation but also for its mineral profile that supports cellular communication and metabolic harmony. These are not exotic superfoods reserved for health gurus. They are accessible, familiar ingredients that can be woven into weekly meals without fanfare. On the vegetable front, the options are even more striking. Seaweed, long a staple in coastal cuisines, contains astonishing levels of potassium, making it an ideal counterbalance after a salty meal. Edamame, those young green soybeans often served as a snack or salad topper, offer a dual benefit: plant protein and a solid potassium punch. Leafy greens like spinach, often praised for iron, are equally valuable for their potassium content, especially when eaten raw or lightly steamed. Even mushrooms, particularly delicate varieties like enoki, deliver surprising amounts of this mineral with almost no calories, making them a stealth ally in any weight-conscious kitchen. What makes this shift so powerful is that it does not require drastic overhauls or expensive supplements. In fact, experts caution against potassium pills for most people, as high doses can disrupt heart rhythm and interact dangerously with certain medications. The body is designed to absorb and regulate potassium best when it comes from food, where it arrives alongside other nutrients that enhance its effects. A baked potato with a sprinkle of herbs, a bowl of bean chili, a salmon fillet with sautéed spinach. These are not just meals, they are metabolic tune-ups. This perspective also reframes how we think about bloating and sluggishness. Instead of reaching for diuretic teas or restrictive cleanses, the solution may be as simple as swapping a processed snack for a handful of edamame or adding an extra serving of vegetables to dinner. The body naturally seeks equilibrium. Give it the right tools, and it will shed excess water, stabilize blood sugar, and protect muscle without extreme measures. Moreover, the benefits ripple outward. Better insulin sensitivity means lower risk of type 2 diabetes. Reduced sodium retention supports healthy blood pressure, easing strain on the heart and arteries. Preserved muscle mass in midlife and beyond helps prevent the metabolic slowdown that often leads to weight gain with age. And because potassium-rich foods tend to be whole, minimally processed, and fiber-rich, they also feed the gut microbiome, a key player in inflammation, mood, and even appetite regulation. In a food landscape saturated with fad diets and quick fixes, the potassium story is refreshingly grounded. It does not promise overnight transformation but instead invites a return to basics, cooking with real ingredients, reading labels to avoid hidden sodium, and building meals around plants, legumes, and quality proteins. It is a quiet rebellion against the ultra-processed norm, where flavor comes from salt and sugar rather than the natural richness of whole foods. Consider the typical modern meal: a frozen entree, a bag of chips, a sugary drink. High in sodium, low in potassium, stripped of fiber, it is a recipe for metabolic confusion. Now imagine an alternative: a warm bowl of red kidney beans simmered with tomatoes and herbs, a side of roasted sweet potato, a small portion of grilled chicken, and a salad of spinach and asparagus. This plate is not only satisfying but also aligned with the body's innate chemistry. It supports fluid balance, blood sugar control, and muscle maintenance, all without counting a single calorie. The deeper truth here is that weight management is not just about how much we eat, but what we eat, and how those foods interact with our biology. Potassium is a linchpin in that interaction, a mineral that bridges hydration, metabolism, and cellular function. By prioritizing foods that naturally contain it, we do more than chase a number on the scale. We invest in resilience, the kind that keeps energy steady, cravings manageable, and the body functioning as it was meant to. So the next time you feel bloated or stuck in your health journey, look beyond the scale. Ask not how little you can eat, but how richly you can nourish. Choose the bean over the bar, the vegetable over the vat-grown snack, the home-cooked meal over the drive-through bag. In doing so, you are not just feeding yourself, you are restoring balance, one potassium-rich bite at a time. And in that balance lies not just a slimmer appearance, but a stronger, more vibrant way of living. If this opened your eyes to the quiet power of potassium, you are not alone. So many of us chase results without realizing the simple, natural tools already on our plates. Try adding just one more potassium-rich food to your day. Swap a processed snack for edamame, toss spinach into your eggs, or go old school with a baked potato and skin. Small shifts like these add up to real change, not just on the scale, but in how you feel, move, and thrive. If you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up. It tells YouTube this matters. Share it with someone who's tired of feeling bloated or stuck. And if you are ready for more science-backed, no-nonsense nutrition that cuts through the noise, hit subscribe and tap the bell. Because real health is not about extremes. It is about balance, awareness, and eating in a way that honors how your body actually works. See you in the next video.